Evening team, happy Sunday. Hope we're all feeling, well, we're probably all feeling very tired, but I hope we're feeling a little bit chirpy before we start our stretching. I've popped the link for the playlist in the group chat if you would like to use it. It is, I'm not going to lie, Adele's new album, because what else has been on anyone's phones this week, really? So yeah, we're just going to start from the beginning. I've had a few requests. If anyone has any more requests, then send them on through via the chat function now. When you're ready, pop those playlists on from the beginning and we will get started. We're actually going to start stood up today, which is a little bit different to normal. Emma's got herself prepared with her blanket to go to bed, and we're going to start standing. So head on over to your mats, and we're just going to begin in a nice stood up position. Now, for those of you who haven't already joined us on the call earlier, things you'll need today, make sure you've got your band or strap, a block or some books to use, and also a cushion nearby as well. So once we're all stood up, we're going to start off really simply by beginning with a forward fold. So all you're going to do is just allow that upper body to be heavy and fold all the way over as low as feels comfortable for you. You don't need to have the hands on the floor if you can't reach. That's absolutely fine. Just hang that head heavy and hold the body there, feeling a nice deep stretch down the backs of those legs. Perfect. Holding it there. And when you're ready, we're just going to start to work into that lower back slightly. So if your hands are on the floor, great. If not, imagine they are and create yourself an imaginary floor. You're going to walk those hands around to the left-hand side for me, keeping the legs where they are. And you should start to feel a nice deep stretch down the right-hand side of the back as well as in those legs. Perfect. Just slowly breathing in and out. Nice. Holding here. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your next exhale, just try and walk the hands just 1 little centimetre further around to the left for me. Another nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just bring those hands back to the centre for me. Slowly lift yourself up to standing. And when you get there, just give everything a little bit of a shake out before we go into another forward fold. So just heavy all the way down again. Perhaps reaching a little bit further than we did last time. Holding here to begin with before we walk those hands now around to the right hand side this time. Stretching through the left hand side of that back. Remember, as we work into our stretches, really focusing on those slow inhales and exhales. And on your next exhale, I want you to give me just 1 centimetre further to the right as we stretch through that back. Holding for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walking those hands back to the centre for me. And just pulling yourself 1 centimetre further towards the floor. Imagine there's a little string coming out the top of your head and it's pulling you down towards that mat. I just want you to go 1 little centimetre further, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk those hands forwards for me. Pushing the heels down to the floor, we're going to come into our first downward dog of today's class. So that bum goes up towards the corner of the room. Now we're slowly going to pedal through our downward dog to begin with. So bending one leg and then the other, one leg and then the other. If you're feeling like you'd like to go really deep, then feel free to push both those ankles and heels down towards the floor. Again, focusing on that breathing. And with every exhale, just feeling some of that tightness leave the body. Well done. Slowly walking those hands forwards a little bit more for me. Bring yourself to a high plank position. Lower the knees to the floor, untuck the toes and lower the chest all the way down. One hand at either side of the chest. I want you to take your feet so that they're about the same. Your big toe is on the edge of your mat on both feet. So the legs are a little bit wider. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, push up through those hands as we come into our upward dog. Well done. Make sure you're not tensing. I say it every week, but we always are. I'm doing it now. Make sure you're not tensing your bum. Looking up towards that ceiling as we feel that stretch in the back and maybe in those hips as well. We're just going to take some slow rotations over the shoulder to work into that back. So slowly looking towards the left. And then slowly moving over to the right. Once more to the left. Well done. And one more time over to the right hand side for me. Perfect, guys. Coming back to center, tuck those toes, send the bum up and bring it back into our downward dog. We're not going to stay here for too long. Slowly walk the hands in towards the feet. Wiggle the feet a little bit closer together and just slowly in your own time, rolling back up to standing as we finish our first little bits. Perfect, well done, guys. Just give yourself a little bit of a shake off, shake those legs. We're going to work into some shoulder rolls now before we move into the next little bit of today's stretching. So I just want you to take a second to relax your posture completely. And then as you breathe in, I want you to bring your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you breathe out, I want you to bring them round and back. Bring those shoulder blades together and down. Breathing in again for me, bring them up towards those ears and down and back. One last time, up towards those ears as you breathe in and out and back. Well done. Just bring that head tilted over to the left hand side. Take your left hand and bring some pressure onto the right hand side of the head. Again, a nice deep inhale. And as we exhale, just adding a little bit of pressure. You might want to extend your right arm out to the side slightly to start to feel that nice deep stretch down the right hand side of the neck. Looking good, guys, well done. Nice deep breath in, and on your exhale, a little bit more pressure for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Bring the head over to the right this time. Right hand comes up to the left hand side. Nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, coming into that push for me. Remember that arm is optional, wherever feels best for you. Feel free to move that. Nice deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And on your next exhale, just give it one more little bit of a push, holding for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Lifting up for me. Just shake off those shoulders. We're going to start moving into a few lower body stretches again now. So we're going to step forwards with the left leg. We're going to bend into that left knee, but we're going to keep the back foot flat to the floor as we do so. So you want both feet flat as if you're on train tracks, nice and parallel. If you need a wall support or a chair, then that's absolutely fine. And we're just slowly going to bend into that left knee. And as we do so, you should start to feel a nice deep stretch down the back of that right calf. Perhaps up into the hamstring as well, a bit higher on the leg. If you need to readjust and wiggle, feel free to kind of move that front foot forwards a little bit or backwards a little bit. And all I want you to do, once you've found that position and you can feel the stretch, is just start to bounce a little bit into the stretch. So slowly releasing off and then in and off and then in. We're going to do this about 8 times and then we're going to move into a complete hold. Well done, guys. Another 3. Another 2. And one more for me. On this one, once you hit the bottom, I want you to hold that stretch for me. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Push that heel into the floor as much as you can, pushing it nice and deep for 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those hands down to frame that front foot. Take the left foot now over to the right hand side of the mat. Bring the knee down to the left hand side and we're going to lower ourselves into our pigeon stretch. We're just going to take a few seconds up on the hands as we work into that position. Get yourself comfortable. And then once you're ready, just start to fold yourself over. So you can either stay up on the hands or you can come down onto the forearms. Or if you'd like to, you can grab your cushion and use that as a bit of a blocker. Or you can come all the way down to the floor. Wherever you would like to be today. I should be feeling a nice deep stretch through that left glute up into the hip, in the pelvis. And just slowly, remember we're focusing on that breathing. In order for our muscles to repair, they need that fresh oxygen. It's really important that we get that fresh oxygen into those muscles. We're going to hold here for around another minute. A really deep and elongated stretch, this one. So get yourself comfortable. Perhaps you need to lift out for a few seconds to be able to lower back down. That's absolutely fine. Remember, these classes are all about finding where your body is today and where you need it to be for your stretching as well. Perfect, guys, well done. A few more breaths here. On your next exhale, I just want you to make sure that that glute isn't tensed. As you breathe out, just let any tension go. And we're going to hold all together for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bringing yourself up. Move that cushion out of the way if you've used it. And just step the left leg back to the right and step the right leg through, bringing yourself up into that position for our calf stretch on the other side this time. So you should have your right foot in front now. Remember, if you need a support, that's absolutely fine. The left heel is going to stay flat to the floor as we start to bend into that right leg and, oh, hello, that's my calf. Start to stretch through that left calf this time. Well done. And we're going to move into those bounces again. So we're going to go for 8, for 7. Well done. For 6, for 5, 4, 3, 2. And on this last one, I want you to hold and push that heel down to the floor as much as you can. Now, whilst you're here, just take a little note of where in your calf you can feel this stretch right now. Is it on the inside? Is it on the outside? Is it in the middle? It's just a really helpful piece of information you can take away and know potentially that you need to get a little bit of foam rolling in a specific place after the class. Well done, guys. Holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those hands down to frame that right foot. Wiggle the foot over to the left-hand side. Bring the knee down to the right and slide yourself back into that pigeon on the other side. Just as we did to begin with on the left-hand side, just up on the hands to begin with. And as you feel ready, lowering yourself down to wherever you would like to be. Nice deep breaths. It's a really intense but brilliant stretch for us to use. Remember, you can use your block or books as a little prop under those arms to help you lift a little bit higher if you need, or you can use a cushion as well. And once again, we're going to be staying here for around 60 seconds. So I want you to focus on every exhale, just releasing a little bit more tension every single time. Nice, team, well done. Looking good. Keep it there for me. Well done, guys. Keep it there. We've got another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift yourself back up onto those hands carefully. Slide any props out of the way. Tuck that left toe, send the right back to meet it, and just push yourself up into that downward dog once again. Now, again, if you want to pedal, that's absolutely fine. If you're feeling ready to go into a deeper hold, then both those heels push down towards that floor as your gaze looks back and through the legs towards the wall behind you. Well done, guys. Not staying here for too long. Just another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring yourself down to the knees are on the floor. Bring the feet together and send the knees out to the side slightly. And we're just going to sit the bum back towards the heels as we lower into our child's pose. Now I want you to try and bring your forehead all the way down to the mat and just use this position here for a little bit of recovery. Perhaps closing the eyes down. And once you're there, I want you to think about spreading the hands as wide as possible. Spread those fingers away from one another and push into that floor. And that's going to activate that back stretch as well as the groin area. I'm just going to hold here for around another 30 seconds before we move into a few T-spine rotations for those backs. Looking really good, guys. Well done. Amazing. When you're ready, you can keep your eyes closed whilst you do this. I just want you to take your right hand and feed it underneath the left so that the right shoulder comes down to the floor. So your hand's gone underneath, that right shoulder's coming down to the floor, and you're starting to feel a spinal stretch down the back and a little bit of a shoulder stretch as well. And if anyone's got the Adele playlist on, this is the very good song that's just come on. Well done, guys. Holding here. Looking really good, team. On next exhale, just want you to take that hand a little bit further for me. So just imagine you wiggling that hand another centimetre or so away from the body, just to deepen that stretch a tiny bit more. Well done, team. Holding for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Bring that hand back through. Take your left hand now under your right, coming into exactly the same stretch, but on the other side. So feeding through and under, bringing the shoulder down, and coming into our rotation this way instead. Well done, guys. Holding here. Remember, this is a great position to close those eyes down and really focus on that breathing. We're a little bit more active than normal in this class today in terms of a lot more standing stretching than we normally have. So use these recovery periods in our deeper stretches to tune out and focus on what that body needs. Well done, guys. Next exhale, just try and wiggle that hand a tiny bit further away for me, just a little bit deeper. Holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bringing that hand back through, placing it back down in the center. Bringing ourselves up out of our child's pose, shaking it off before we sit back into our child's pose one last time. Forehead down to that floor, pressing those hands into the floor, sitting that bum back towards those heels as much as you can. Holding here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Well done, guys. I want you to lift yourself up out of your child's pose, and we're going to come into a few side stretches. So you're going to take your right foot onto the ball of the foot, and you're kind of in a little bit of like a half crouch position, but your left leg comes out to the side. We're going to work through a couple of different stretches here. This initial one, we're working on stretching the inside of the thigh. So as you stretch the foot out towards the side, try and tip so the toes are facing up towards your ceiling, and just slowly lower yourself and push the bum back, and you should start to feel that nice deep stretch down the inside of that thigh. It's a little bit of a weird one, but it's a very good way of getting in there. Just some nice deep breathing. We're not going to stay here for too long. Just another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that right leg down so you're on your knee instead this time. And all I want you to do is just take the hands out in front and slowly rock backwards to the heel and forwards. So we're working both that inside leg stretch, but also a little bit of mobility through that abductor in the hip as well. And just another 3, another 2, and 1 more for me. Holding it back, holding down for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, guys. Bring the weight over to the left-hand side now, onto the ball of the foot as we take the right leg out to the other side. Now, you might find that one feels a lot tighter straight away. That's absolutely fine. Toes up towards the ceiling, and just bring yourself lowering slowly into that inner thigh stretch again. Well done. Remember, if you can't touch the floor, that's absolutely fine. If you've got your blocks or books, you can use those to help prop you up on either side as well, or slide one cushion under each hand to help give that height for you also. Looking good, guys. Well done. Holding here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and on 1, bring yourself down onto the knee. And we're going to come into those rocks again. So send the hands forwards and slowly rocking back towards the heel and up, back and up. Another 4. Well done. Another 3. Another 2 for me. Amazing work, guys. And 1 more for me. Perfect. Sitting it back, keeping it sat back on the heel for that last one. Nice and deep into our stretch. Holding for 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. We're going to bring ourselves back up so that we're on both feet. And we're just going to sit ourselves down into our really deep squat here. Bring the hands to the center and just using the elbows to push out and have a nice little bit of a groin stretch. Remember, you can sway from left to right, wherever you need to be. Try and keep the chest nice and straight. Well done. Good work, guys. Holding just for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, guys. Take those hands down for me and just cross the legs into a cross-legged position. Well done. Have a second, have a sip of water, have a little bit of a reset, and get ready to go into our next little section of today's class. All good? Thumbs up for all good, guys. Fabulous. That's what we like to see. Perfect. Good job I've got contact lenses in today. We're going to move now into some seated stretches. So to start with, we're going to keep the left leg down on the floor, but the right leg is going to come over the left knee, like so. So we've got the left leg down, right leg over. You're going to take your left arm, wrap it around the right knee for me, turning yourself towards the right, put your right hand down, looking over the shoulder and using that hand to squeeze that leg in towards you and feel a nice deep stretch down the outside of that glute, perhaps into that IT band. You might, I'm just going to come check no one's in a twisted mess. No, we're looking perfect. Well done, team. We can all tell our lefts from our rights. Good work. Remember that breathing for me, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. On your next exhale, I just want you to try and twist a teeny weeny little bit further, or squeeze that leg a tiny bit more for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Well done, guys. Unwrapping that leg for me, bringing the right leg down to the floor. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it the other way as well. So we're now going to take the left leg across the right leg. Your right hand is going to sweep around the left leg, and you're slowly going to turn to your left. Bring your left hand down to the floor as we squeeze and stretch into that left glute and IT band this time. Well done. Again, just focusing on that nice deep breathing. Inhales and exhales. Inhaling again and exhaling again. And on your next exhale, I want you to give me a tiny bit more of a squeeze or twist, holding for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Release it off for me. Well done, guys. You might want to take your legs out and just give them a little bit of a shake and wobble so that we get rid of that tension. We're going to move now into our straddle position. So when you're ready, just taking one leg out to either side. Doesn't matter how wide or narrow it is. This is just going to be our position for our hamstring stretch today. So when we're ready, we're going to bring those hands up so that they're parallel to the floor. We're going to turn so we're facing and our hands are over the left leg. And then we're slowly going to bring that chest down towards the left leg, tilting the toes back towards the forehead as you do so. If you can reach the toes, great. If not, just relax the hands onto the leg, remembering to keep a tiny little bit of a bend in the knee. We should be feeling a nice deep stretch down the back of that leg. Remember, using that breath to lower yourself a tiny bit further every single time you exhale. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Well done, guys. We're going to hold here for another 30 seconds. So a little bit of a longer stretch again. keep it going. Remember, those exhales are opportunities to just go that little bit deeper. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly lifting yourself up. Bring the hands back up to the center again, rotating over to the right leg this time. Bring the toes back towards the forehead as we slowly lower the chest down again, towards the legs, stretching into the back of the right leg this time. Again, focusing on those exhales to increase our depth. Well done. Holding, holding, holding. For another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly lifting yourself up. Bringing those legs together now for me. Make sure your cushion is behind you. As I bring the legs together, we're just going to move into a dual hamstring stretch to finish this little section. So bring the toes back towards the forehead and then lower yourself as far as you can into that full deep, deep, deep hamstring stretch. Remember, if you can't reach the feet, just rest the hands onto the legs. That's absolutely fine. Well done. Next exhale, let's try and lower a little bit further. Well done, guys. Holding for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly lifting yourself up and just allowing the back to flow down as we lie down onto our pillow, into our lying position for the final little section of today's class. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring those feet up so that the knees are bent. And then you're just going to let the knees flop out to the side. Bring the feet together, just let them flop out to the side. And just feel how that feels, like a nice kind of counter stretch on any pressure that you may be experiencing in that lower back. I'm going to stay here for about a minute. I don't want you to focus on those legs getting lower. I just want you to let gravity do its thing as they slowly fall out to the side. Well done, team. Perfect. Just holding them there. Out to the sides. Perfect. Okay, we're going to bring the left foot flat with the knee bent, and then the right foot is going to cross onto that left leg in our figure of 4. Once we've reached our figure of 4, we're going to lean through the gap, take a hold of the back of the hamstring, and bring that leg in towards us as we come into our figure of 4 glute stretch on the right hand side. Well done, guys. Slowly breathing in, and as you exhale each time, just trying to bring that leg a little bit closer and increase that stretch a little bit more. Now we're down on the floor as well. Try and keep those eyes closed if you can. Well done. Holding for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And one, lower that left foot down to the floor, unwrap the right foot, and then we change over. So the left leg is now on top of the right, leaning through the gap, taking a hold of the back of the hamstring, and slowly coming into our glute stretch on the left hand side this time. Again, just focusing on gradually increasing the depth in our stretch. Just slowly pulling a little bit more. And slowly breathing into that stretch. Well done, guys. Holding for 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly letting that leg go. Taking the legs so that they're flat to the floor again. Now you all know this is my favourite stretch. It's here every week. We're going to take the right arm out to the side, either straight or in a cactus position. Take your left hand to the outside of your right knee for me. Turn your gaze to look to the right as you slowly bring that leg over to the left for a lovely little spinal stretch. Well done. Holding here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly lifting up. Take the right leg down to the floor as the left arm comes out into the position. Right hand goes to the outside of the left knee this time. Gaze goes to the left as we come into our spinal rotation the other way. Looking good, team. Well done. Perfect. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center. Just want you to bring both those knees in towards the chest. Give them a really big squeeze. And just slowly rock yourself on the spine from left to right. Just using the floor to massage through that spine. And if you haven't already got your eyes closed, just bring them to a close now for me. And when you're ready, just lowering the legs one by one, flat down to the floor. Bringing one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the chest. Taking a slow deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose. And this time as you breathe out, taking the hands out to the side. And we're just going to have a few minutes to finish off today's class of you time, relaxed time with no thoughts in that head, no problems, no worries. Appreciating our body feeling a lot more relaxed. And I will come back and let you know when it is time for us to finish today. feel free to stay here a little longer if you'd like to. If not, then keep those eyes closed as you slowly roll yourself over onto one side. And then using the hands and keeping the eyes closed still, just bring yourself up to a cross-legged position. Place those hands on the knees. And with an inhale, I want you to just bring those shoulders up towards the ears and roll them down and back with your exhale. So we're in a really nice, proud seated position to finish today's class. Bring your hands up to cover the eyes. Slowly blinking the eyes open and slowly taking those hands away once you're ready. Welcome back, guys. I'll come on over and see how we are. Hello, hello. How are we doing? All good? Thank you so much for joining me this evening, guys. I hope you enjoyed a little stretch. I hope those calves and glutes and hips and the rest of you that's falling apart are feeling much better. Now you've had a little bit of a stretch, and I hope you enjoyed my little tour of Adele's best bits of a new album as well, because, you know, can't go wrong with that playlist. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. As always, this will be in True Coach later this evening. If you want to repeat it at any point this week or anything like that, then it will be in there. If anyone's got any questions or anything, you know where I am, and I will chat to you all tomorrow or later tonight, whenever. Lovely to see you, team, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.